Hey, what's up guys, Nine Toes here, and I want to bring you guys another live gameplay commentary. Hopefully this time I have figured out the audio bug, which I think was my phone a little too close to my computer, so I'm going to keep that away. But real quickly, what I wanted to basically give you guys today was a little update on what I've more or less done with my house the last time you've seen it, as, well, it looks like this place is running a little bit, but had a little, I guess you could say, a little pleasant surprise when the admin of the server, my buddy Dizzy Aaron, decided to kind of make over my place. Didn't know he did it. He's a heck of a designer in real life, so this is what the new porch looks like. I thought he did a great job. It looks, I couldn't have done this, to be quite frank. I don't think I have the imagination to do it, but at any rate, let's take a closer look. As I walk through now my double doors here, and really slick little painting. I actually had put on at one point the BD Purecraft texture pack that a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of you guys I know probably use as well too, and that picture is actually very different. There's a picture of Steve and a creeper, and it's actually kind of cool. But anyways, this is all Dizzy Aaron's idea. Nice little couch, double bed. He expanded the room. If you look at my last video, you'll see kind of how tight it was. But the crown molding and what have you. He kind of sunk down my chest down to the ground. Did a great job here in my crafting room as well too. I have a mirror. I'm not a mirror, but I have a window now. But left everything more or less the same. Now I've got cool lights over the perimeter, or the room rather. And this is actually a pretty cool little touch. The I don't even know what you want to call these, but basically just little pieces of marble that just encase my 3 project tables. So I thought that was pretty hot. But at any rate, let's take a quick closer look at the rest of the place. What I ended up doing here in this room was I added some more interdiction torches, because I've noticed that every once in a great while I'll get Endermen in here. So this was all more or less designed to just trying to keep them out. But what I've done to update, if you remember the last video, the power flowers, I had the Mark 1, the Mark 2, and the Mark 3 power flowers. I've now upgraded them all to Mark 3s, as I'm now basically getting into some crazier crafting here. Dark matter blocks like you wouldn't believe. Here you'll see that I'm getting more diamond blocks. And then finally the last one, where I originally had just individual diamonds, I'm now making Mark III collectors, because, well, I'm going to be using a lot more of them, and since they're pretty expensive and I can condense them, well, I can make them. This was a recent addition. This was a room that Dizzy Aaron also helped me, more or less kind of put together, and the idea was, what I wanted to do was kind of have an auto crafting type of a solution. So, for example, I mean, I don't have anything in here now running, but this was kind of like a phase 2. I believe I was using this to make, originally the idea was for solar panels. So while it like crafted one thing in here as an example, dumped everything out into that chest, and then got pulled into this guy here, and eventually the final product would come in here, which, as you can see, is empty. The last thing I basically did was I ended up making a whole bunch of advanced insertion pipes. But I was actually kind of proud of this. This was kind of my, well, not kind of, this was my my entire deal myself. This is an extractor that I had to pipe in power from my main MFSU, my crafting room, into here. And what I was basically trying to do was make a bunch of rubber. So I would condense the sticky resin, drop it in here. Very simple. Just drop it in there. It would obviously go to the right into the extractor, and then basically the output would be obviously the rubber. And as you can see, I have a lot of it. So, and what I ended up basically doing is I started making a lot of copper cables. Kept all my supplies here, kind of close at bay. And of course, our Mark III bench. as well too. All those diamonds that I had in that Mark 1, I just basically dumped in here just to have and keep somewhere. And I also put in a red matter furnace as well too, next to an energy collector, so that, well, I mean, I can, if I needed to basically smelt something, I have a furnace there, that I can obviously do it quickly. You guys probably remember these. I don't even know what you want to call these, but the little sugarcane factory, I suppose, that is just making tons and tons and tons of red matter with the gem of eternal density. I added doors this time just to basically keep the server lag at bay. So that's kind of an update from what you've seen on the last video that I put out, and I just passed yet another red matter furnace. Again, if I needed something that was a little heavier duty than these two here, but I think, and the reason why I'm making another little update video, if you will, is I think I pretty much have mastered, I don't know if I want to dare say mastered, but I pretty much have got down the whole machine thing, and I'll show you that in a second, as we're taking another closer look at kind of now an entrance down here to a cave. This was a natural cave that we basically, again, Dizzy Air and myself kind of put together, nice little entrance and what have you. But this was a natural cave that we kind of converted into a usable laboratory. And as we kind of come down the stairs down here, here's more or less what I really did with the place. Just a monstrous room that I refined, oil into some fuel. And of course, there's some oil reserves. A dark matter pedestal with an interdiction torch. Future. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might actually just end up, covering it up. But power from downstairs, and I'll show you that in just a second as well too. But I kind of want to give you guys maybe possibly some, maybe ideas. Help out someone who's really new to Tekkit, maybe kind of further understand it. So I got a bunch of tools obviously here at my fingertips, or project tables. This is an auto. I want to say it's a Mark II auto crafting table. And another Mark III crafting table here as well too, there we go, finally opened up. And here's what I ended up doing, is I ended up piping some power from downstairs in a generator room to here. I don't have everything obviously put in 100%. As you can see, I have future expansion, etc., with the redstone lamps, but put in a rotary macerator, and now a blue electric alloy furnace. So I've got some solar panels rather outside, and wired this up. Actually pretty easy to make, but Bluetricity really kind of confused the heck out of me, so I'm super new to it. And another charging bench here as well too. A little bit of a lag. Bunch of alchemical chests on the wall just for storage. Energy condensers on top on the other side. I installed another red matter furnace, and behind it I've got a collector with, above it in the back that's hidden, is a some glowstone, so that basically it's powered, and I don't have to actually hook it up into anything. So and I'm kind of a cool little pattern on the roof as well too. And I really kind of like the workspace here, and like I said, I'm calling this my laboratory, and I'm purposely not turning around to kind of keep that it's a little surprise a little later in the video. So as I come down here, here's my generator room, and I've had some issues again with Enderman. Oh wow, hi zombie. I've even seen a creeper down here before, but here's something that I was really kind of proud that I figured out in using geothermal generators, using lava cells with an energy condenser, and again another collector. Even though, here's what's funny, is that even though the collector has a panel on top of it, it's still getting power. But I don't know if you can see, but in there you got lava cells moving around. As I open up this chest here, you'll see that I've got a ton of lava cells that it's producing, and it's just basically going in a circle. So I've got 2 arrays, 4 per array of geothermals. That's all basically wired and hooked up into this bank of MFSU. So I've got tons of power, and I wanted something. I wanted a clean installation. I didn't want a bunch of funky wires all over the place and what have you. As you can see, I've got issues with mobs spawning down here and what have you, but I don't know. I guess with enough interdiction torches down here, that's why he is having a tough time trying to basically follow me because, well, he kind of can't. It's something for the future. I put in a coke oven for if I do railcraft or what have you, but this is how you, of course, you make them. You can't just put one block in this and just figure you're going to have boom an oven. You have to do this 3x3x3 configuration. And I kept it in a separate room just because I don't even know if I'm going to honestly use it, to be quite frank, at least not as of yet. But here's something else that I also kind of recently put together as well too. Real quickly, what you're looking at here is a mass fabricator, well, 2 of them. And what these guys are doing is just basically making UU matter. But I wanted to keep this separate because I do know that mass fabricators eat up a ton of energy. So I hooked up a couple of high voltage solar arrays at the top of my house that power these MFSUs. It must be getting dark outside, that's why they're power's a little low. But at any rate, I mean I know that they just soak up a ton of energy. Used an electrolyzer because they have to be near 1 block away from a MFSU. So I forgot exactly what I used this for, but I needed it for something, for building something. So I figured, well, this is kind of like a little, if it's like if you want to consider like a laundry room, I just wanted to keep it away because it's unsightly. I also put a recycler in here, and what a recycler does is I can put in junk that I don't want, for example, in here. And it'll create scrap, and you take out the scrap, which you would then put in here, which would of course boost the efficiency or the speed of how quickly UU matter is produced. This is after I think a couple of days of it running it. I've got stacks and stacks of UU matter, as you can see, and I've got everything kind of piped away so that it's all hidden and what have you. So really kind of a slick little again, clean installation. Oh, hi, yeah, they're back. But at any rate, I was really proud, like I said, of the fact that I was able to make these geothermal generators as compact as I possibly could, with an energy condenser. Right here is a collector, the pipes, and the power, obviously, to drop it into those MFSUs all underneath, etc., and keep it tucked away with, I think, a redstone engine and a torch right below this block, as a matter of fact. So you can add on to it more if you wanted to. So there's an idea for you guys, again, for an alternative to nuclear, because I know a lot of guys are just like, wow, I want to do nuclear. But it just means a lot of upkeep. But as you can see, it's a huge room, and it's very empty. But I just wanted to show you the last couple of days of me basically working with this. I made 2 auto crafting machines. This is my real first experiment here. This is my first one that I did, and I'm going to try to work on condensing this to make this smaller. But what this guy does, I have it off right now, but what this guy does is it's making advanced alloy. So what I ended up doing is 3 chests, or 3 items, obviously, I'm sure as you guys know, make up advanced alloy. And so what these condensers are doing is getting iron and bronze, almost said copper, and tin hooked up to energy collectors, and just pumping everything out. Now the first top one, I'm sure if you guys already didn't know this, it needs refined iron. So not just iron, but refined iron. So the top tier, as I'm using panels to kind of separate it, and making certain that, as you can see, these marble panels here, that they don't connect where I don't need them to, or don't want them to, rather. So the top one goes obviously into a goes right into a furnace, and making, of course, the iron that gets basically pumped out here through this filter and pumped out through this pneumatic tube into this chest. Now here's what I found out, because this is what took me a while to figure out, was that the auto crafting bench here can't be connected with the pneumatic tubes, but it will look for, as an example, if I open this guy up, What it'll do is if it has the inventory next to it in the next space or block, in this case just a regular chest, because when this thing is running it's just going to basically pull the resources right out of it. That's why this guy here for bronze goes straight down in here, and then of course the tin goes, it just is going to push right into that chest right there, goes into the crafting table, and that's why I have to go a little old school, run a redstone engine with a redstone torch underneath it to be pumped out and put into the compressor, which I don't know why it's taking so long. I had it because I don't have any transformers. I'm using, upgrades, and then from here I can, of course, put it shoot everything out of that filter into here, and I've got final product. So that was kind of the idea on that one. So hopefully maybe it gives you guys, if you're again new to Tekkit, or maybe looking for tips on how to basically build a machine like this, on more or less what to do. Now here was my attempt to try to make this as compact as possible. As you can see, it's longer than anything, but let's go start from the very beginning. I have this running and it's on, and another energy collector. What this is doing is I'm going to be making carbon plates. So it's obviously starts with coal, and I've got an energy collector an energy condenser connected to a Mark III energy collector. Obviously right next to it, got a filter that's going to obviously pump out every couple of seconds into the rotary macerator, and it's going to make coal dust. From the coal dust, from the coal dust, it's going to shoot everything into this chest, where the first phase here on this automated bench is going to basically take that coal dust and, good grief, there we go. We're going to make raw carbon fiber. Gets sucked out of here, placed into this chest where the carbon fiber is collected. And again, you can just use regular chests because they'll never get filled up anyways, as long as it's running. Into this auto crafting table here, and we're going to take that raw carbon fiber and make carbon mesh. Mesh gets basically pumped out of here with the advanced insertion pipes very slowly, as you can see, into the compressor, and the compressor then obviously gives me the final product. Come on. And if I can open up this chest in any kind of length of time, my final product, carbon plates. So this chest here doesn't do anything. I just put it down because I needed just an empty spot. But anyways, there you have it. More or less is the laboratory that I was, I kind of proposed and thought about, doing in my last video. If you obviously saw it, is that, I ran out of room upstairs, and I wanted to basically do something like this. I'll be doing more machines as well too, but just to give you guys kind of an idea more or less, and maybe a little breakdown for some of you that were maybe a little in the dark or unclear on how to make them or what have you. But I don't really want to bore anybody with the, oh, first you need this and, collect this, and who wants to see it being, I think crafted per se. I think that a lot of us know how to, look up a wiki and make a chest, or can make, figure out how to make these pipes and things like that. It's, if anything, the ideas on, hey, I need a little help on, I want to craft something like this, but I need a little help on exactly how to set it up and what have you. Yeah, as an FYI, all that power downstairs from the generator room was obviously, how to be, wired up here for, the machines so that they can run, but everything else can obviously be, the timers and what have you can be run independently. But as you can kind of see, the redstone timer and redstone applied obviously across and whatnot. But anyways, more or less there you have it. Again, I just wanted to bring you guys a little something up to date as to what I'm doing. And I just, again, have been having a lot more fun, once again with Minecraft. To me, this is, what I think the game is really all about, to be honest with you, because just, constantly, going into, mines and what have you in regular vanilla Minecraft, it got kind of boring quick. You get further and further away from your house and what have you. And this to me, you know, presents a challenge. It is now become fun because of the problem solving. It's you know, I'm going to need some of this stuff later on, and I didn't, instead of basically sitting there going one by one by one by one by one in some sort of a crafting table, I could have machines now basically build it for me, even when I'm not even logged in. So anyways, there you have it, guys. Hopefully you picked up a little something, maybe some design ideas or some tips or something like that, you know, out of this. If there's anything further that you want to know, obviously leave it down below. Otherwise, happy crafting.